here in the first row, please.
Hello, Dean. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Will. Yourself?
I'm well.
Good.
What can you tell us about the availability? Guys out of the weekend, is there any change to availability?
No change. DD's still out. He's back on the grass. We might have Junior back for the bench, but apart from that, that's as it is.
You were very visibly frustrated with what happened Saturday. Is there something that you were able to find on film in your study of it that led to your frustration?
No, to be honest, I don't think it was one to watch back. It would have scorched my eyes, so I didn't fancy watching that back. And listen, if we'd have won the game, I would have said exactly the same thing. It was just a bad game, and you know, my brother came to watch his first game, and he actually said to me after that my Walsall team would have beat both teams, and that was a League One team. So that tells you, you know, and you know, after 20 minutes, I turned around to the bench and said, "This is not a good game," you know, and we have to accept that and take responsibility for it.
What made it that way? Was it something they were doing, something you weren't doing?
Well, I think, you know, a pass that was completed was a collector's item on that pitch. You know, the amount of passes that went out of play from our team, from their team, was incredible, really, to be honest. And you know, I said about the pitch before, and that wasn't so great. I was on the pitch before the game, and I said, "What's happened here?" You know, we played there 4 or 5 weeks before, and it just looked different and felt different, and you could see it scarring very quickly. So I don't know what it was, but you know, it was one of them games that just didn't happen for both teams.
What is the best way then to turn the page from a game like that then?
Well, you have to park it. It's gone. There's nothing we can do. We can't change it. But it's always what you do next, and what we do next is a game against Cruz Azul at home. You know, it'd be nice to remind myself what it's like at the Bank of America Stadium. We've not been there for a while, and you know, we're looking forward to going there and you know. And hopefully getting the win that can put us through to the next round.
You got your first little experiment of Carroll and Patrick on the pitch together. I know you didn't get a lot of sample size out of it, but what were your initial impressions of it?
We were chasing the game at that time. We were just trying to do something different. It didn't really work on that day, but not a lot did work on that day. So yeah, it weren't the greatest sample size. So you know, we may revisit again, but I certainly have to do some work on the training ground before that.
What's different about preparing for Cruz Azul? It's a team that's only played 4 games since the start of their season. You don't have as big of a body of work as you would say with these MLS teams.
No, we've played Philly a couple of times already, so we knew what was to come from them. You know, they didn't disappoint in terms of the way they played. They're very direct. This will be different. The way they play, they look to build. They're very aggressive and counter-press very quickly when they lose the ball. So, you know, I've done my video work on them, and you know, now it's about us and making sure we step up certainly our tempo on the ball.
You want some question?
Okay.
In the second row,
Yeah.
front?
He's the best.
Okay. So we open here the online questions. Please raise your hand. I saw one hand here, and now they put it down. Probably Brian Bukauer. Oh, Bridget. No. Okay. Bridget.
Hello, Coach. How are you doing this morning?
I'm good, thanks, Bridget. Yourself?
I'm doing well, thank you. I just had a question. What went into the lineup on Saturday?
What went into the lineup?
Yeah, what was your thoughts behind that starting lineup on Saturday night?
I thought that was probably the team that could go and win the game. Patrick had given them a really tough time, scored the 2 goals in the last game against them. And then JP, they don't play with wide players as such, so I thought our fullbacks would get a lot of the ball. So I wanted to try and, you know, use his quality on the ball going forwards. And Yuri obviously has scored goals the last few games, so you know he stayed in the team as well.
Thank you.
No worries.
You have another
Have
question?
a great day.
Thank you, and you.
Okay. Someone else from the online session? I don't see more hands, so I think we're ready.
Cool. Yeah. Sam, Steve, you guys both good? All right. Will, any follow-ups?
They're quick, these
Yeah,
leagues.
go ahead.
They're quick, these leagues. Press
I was
conferences.
trying to defer to anybody online, but I can do more.
Go ahead, please.
What is the secret to unlocking the best of Ben Bender?
The secret is, he's been out of the game for a long time, so he needs to build up a lot of game time. Very difficult to do that when I say we don't have, reserve games or enough teams close by to have in-house games on the training ground. So we're having to try and replicate that in training. He's working very hard. He found it a really tough game to get into. I thought he was better without the ball, funny enough, on Saturday. With the ball, he didn't find the ball enough, and he didn't use the ball enough when he had it. But that's something that we're continuing to work with him.
How much of a motivator is it with this game, knowing that even though you might need help on the weekend, but this is the motivator to make sure that you keep playing and avoid a potential 3.5 week break?
I don't know. I mean, I think if we win, we're possibly through, are we? Or
You need some help on Sunday.
really? How does that work?
It could go down to goal difference. 3. If every team gets 3, then it'll go to goal difference.
Yeah, no, but if we win, then our goal difference is level. And if Cruz Azul beat Philadelphia, then their goal difference is going to be either level or...
But then it'll go to goal score. So if they do 2-1 and we do 1-0, it'll go down the tie break.
Right, okay.
So
It's funky.
yeah.
Yeah,
I have an extra question here. Sam Spencer, please.
I think if we win, I'd be surprised if we're not.
I'm with you.
Hey, Sam.
Hi, Gene. So I did have a quick question. Can you tell us a little more about Brandon Cambridge's return?
Who?
Cambridge.
Brandon Cambridge.
Brandon Cambridge, yeah. So obviously Brandon got injured in pre-season, and it was one of them games where I just felt his pace might go and do something different. And he went and beat his fullback a couple of times, got a couple of crosses in. But it was nice to have him back. He's been playing for the legacy to build his minutes up, and it's good to have him back because he's worked extremely hard. He's a really good lad as well. And I think he can give us something a little bit different on the side.
And then second, since it's Leagues Cup and not MLS, does the back line still get wine for a clean sheet, or are you going to change it to tequila or something else?
No, I don't think I'll change it to tequila. It sounds like we're turning our team into some alcoholics. No, it's got to be refined in terms of what we get them.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
No worries, thank you very much.
It was short, but
Sweet.
nice.